Hailing from Oxford, England, today's guests are for fans of alternative rock, both old and new. Taking inspiration from bands like Nirvana and Wunderhorse, FAWLERS are preparing to take the world by storm with their first single, In Silence, which is out on Halloween. Please welcome FAWLERS to Televised Magazine. How's everybody doing today?
Hey man, how you doing?
Hello, how's it going?
It's going great. I'll give everybody a chance to introduce themselves. Say your name, say what instrument you play in the band.
I'm Ben. I sing and play rhythm guitar.
I'm Al. I play lead guitar. I'm Jamie and I play drums.
Sweet. And In Silence is out on Halloween. It's a powerful debut track. What made you guys choose that one as your first one to put out?
I think it come from just being something that made a statement from the start. It kind
Mhm.
of hits you hard straight away.
Yeah, it
We
does.
wanted
Yeah.
to, we wanted to burst on to the scene, making a noise. We didn't want to just do. We didn't want to be too arty or too. We just wanted to do something classic, to the point, raw.
Punchy, make a statement. Yeah.
Yeah, man, just hit him with it. And it's the one like when we first started jamming the tunes out together. Me and you we kind of gelled with that one really
Yeah,
quickly, I think,
that was the first one that we properly locked in on, I think. Yeah.
and it just felt right. And like the moment we
Mhm.
played it, it was like, yeah, this has got to be the single.
It's got to be it. When I got the email from Chloe to interview you guys, I saw Wonder Horse and Fontaine's DC were listed as like bands you guys are similar to, and I was like, oh, I have to interview these guys. And then I listened to the song and I was like, yeah,
Thank you,
you
man.
guys fit the bill perfectly. I think the UK is kind of leading the charge on getting guitar-led rock
Mm,
back. Is this the kind of music you guys have always been making or always wanted to make?
pretty much,
Yeah, I
man.
think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's always been guitar bands like.
I think like I grew up originally like proper metal kid,
Hmm.
but then like as I like reached my teens, I started getting into stuff like Nirvana and like old sort of grunge and punk.
Yeah.
And then and the cool thing I guess with like Wonderhorse and Fontaines and these newer bands, they've kind of brought it all back to like just being a band again. For
Hmm.
a while we kind of got a bit overproduced and a bit seeing like, how far can you push it? And then it
Yeah.
was really refreshing for a band like Wonder Horse to come back and just kind of get in a room and play. You know,
Yeah.
and it reminded me of like the records that we grew up on, and I was like,
Mhm.
yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, I wish Wonder Horse was bigger in the States because I'm located in Kansas. They don't really have a huge presence here.
Oh, really? Well,
Yeah, it's I know they're huge in the UK, but when they were gonna come to America, they just did like Chicago, New York City, I think Philadelphia, like only the biggest of the big cities,
right, yeah,
because
yeah,
they
yeah.
don't really have a large enough following to tour those like middle markets, you know.
Mm.
I
You
guess
meant
it's hard to break, I guess, isn't it? Because it's
yeah,
massive. Like you don't realize until you go there. You go,
yeah,
Jesus,
I
this is.
know. And then I've heard people in the UK say like 2, 3 hours is a long drive, but here we drive. You can drive for like 7 hours from one end of Texas to the other and not leave Texas. You know.
Yeah, it's a different
Yeah,
scale,
because
isn't
here, isn't it?
it?
It's like
Yeah,
if a drive's like 4 hours, you go, I won't bother.
Yeah.
but I've done 4 hour drives just for fun, like 2 or 3 times this year already. So
Wow.
Yeah, yeah.
different scales. You mentioned how you like that Wonder Horse is just dudes playing in a room, putting out punchy rock music. The song was recorded live, is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it kind of gave like it gave me at least an immediate taste of that like raw, infectious energy that you guys are trying to get across. Whose idea was it to record the song live, and what does it mean to you guys to have done it that way?
Well, we had a discussion about it, and we said, how do we want it to sound? And we were throwing things around the room, saying how, we want it to be raw, we want it to have that live feel,
Hmm.
and then it kind of whittled down to, well, why don't we just do it live?
Yeah,
It's like if you want it
Yeah.
to sound live, if you play it live, it is live. So it's like,
yeah,
so we just went in the room and basically like no clicks, no backing tracks. We just kind of got in there, played it out, and then added on like overdubs at the end, like did the vocals after as well to get them
hmm. Okay.
a bit clearer.
I think it's nice because you get certain points in the song where it pushes or pulls a little bit, and
Mm.
it does feel like very natural as well for our playing anyway as well. So it works well.
And it's real, isn't it? You
Yeah.
don't get that kind of,
Yeah.
mechanical, robotic feel to it. It's very raw, and you can hear the amps buzzing a bit, and it's them imperfections which I really like in music.
Yeah,
Like,
the imperfections make it feel real and personal, you know?
hmm and then
Um,
obviously Alistair come in and
mhm.
like your lead playing is like
Mm.
just steps it up to that next level, you know.
Yeah.
So it's like when it all comes together live, it's kind of hard to fit it together in a raw way if you're adding bits on bit by bit. But when you're just in the room and you can feel it all kind of in the room together, when you mix that, it keeps that original feel of like you're in the room with that band and you're listening to what's just been done in front of you.
Yeah, one of my favorite bands of all time is Metallica, and they're big enough that they release every concert they do as like you can buy it online. If you go to the show, the ticket comes with a free copy. You know, they archive all their concerts, and I've found myself over the years gravitating to those more than their studio material, just because there's a different feel to it. And also with Metallica being old, you know, they've been around since the 80s. The vocals have changed a lot, the production's changed a lot, but there's just something about that live feel that can't really replicate in the studio that
No.
well.
But that proves the point, doesn't it? Because if you're listening to
Yeah.
like Kill 'Em All, that is probably
Yeah.
like the 80s. It was probably done for 600 quid in a basement.
Yeah.
But then you get like the newer Metallica. Obviously, they have the money now; they can afford to do whatever they want.
hmm That's why they take
But
like
then you still,
5 years, 6 years on an album now.
yeah. But that proves the point. You always end up going back to what you grew up on, or that sound that resonates with you, and that's
Yeah.
what resonates with us, I guess. So that's why we wanted to do it.
I think as well, like sometimes when you record and do it like part by part from like top to bottom, you sort of like you doubt yourself as you go along a bit, and
hmm
it takes longer. I think doing it all together like quite quickly is sometimes
Yeah.
like beneficial in like capturing
Like
like
capturing the lightning in the bottle,
the
isn't it? Yeah.
feeling. Yeah, a little bit.
How many takes was it for what we hear on the song?
In silence. I don't know. I
Yeah,
think
it wasn't loads.
it was probably about 5 or 6
Yeah.
because we did a
Okay.
few like the thing is with recording live when you go in there was a bit of like, okay, how fast is it, how fast
Yeah.
isn't it? We did a few and went, oh, it's a bit slow, we'll try another, speed it up a bit,
hmm
so there was a bit of that. But then once
Yeah.
like
Once you find your like the tempo that you think that works, then we sort of just smashed it and ran it just quite a few times just to make sure.
and
hmm
when you got the taker and
Yeah, you
everything,
do. Yeah.
especially like when you're in the room and you're buzzing off the energy and you look at each other when you finish, you go, that was the take, and you just
Yeah.
know that that's the one.
You just knew when you kind of had it. The
Yeah.
Yeah, the music video also shows that energy in a really amazing package. It's shot really well. How did that music video come together?
Oh, it was not that one. That's
Yeah, it's fine.
It was well, so basically the location of the shoot is in a it's basically, so there's a venue in Reading that we used to play in older bands, and
hmm
they use the upstairs venue as a backstage, so it's like an abandoned venue and it's
Okay.
massive. So I think in the 80s it used to be like a rock club,
hmm
but then it's been abandoned for ages. They use it for like storage now, and I've always said I think it's the coolest place to shoot a video. So,
Yeah.
so that's how it started, and it was like we didn't really go in with the plan. We just went there, and then I was like, "Oh no, we've got to film a video." But we did it all like DIY.
hmm
We've done like
Yeah.
what, like 5 hours, 6, 5,
Yeah, we
6
did it in
hours.
5 or 6 hours.
Pretty quick.
Okay. That's not bad.
We
Came
just
together
went
really
there.
fast.
Yeah,
Yeah, and our photographer Chloe, so she come along. It's the first video she's ever shot,
hmm
and especially like like coming out as a new band, we wanted it to be again raw like the song, and there
Yeah.
was no better way of doing it than doing it yourself
hmm
instead of hiring like professionals, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not that Chloe isn't professional, but
No,
we
but
didn't really know.
It's nice to think that it's been a project that we've just worked on ourselves, and we've had the sort of freedom to pick and choose exactly how we want it to look
Mhm.
without sometimes feeling like someone else's advice might be better than what we want, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, that DIY mentality also it shows and it stops your guys' creative vision from being overshadowed by, someone who might have the my way or the highway mindset.
Yeah.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree, and especially in like the genre, because the rawer you go, the more limitations you have anyway, and that's
Yeah.
sort of the art in itself. We don't rely on synths. We can't just go, oh, we'll add this, we'll add that.
Mhm.
So our creativity comes out of like exactly what we play and how do we make that sound as good as we can with the
Yeah.
instruments we've got.
it shows and it works. And you guys haven't been together that long, have you? The press release said you guys formed earlier this year. How did everything come together? How did you guys get together?
We all come from
Yeah,
different bands, really.
yeah. We all played in different bands, sort of
Mhm.
in the area. Me and Ben knew each other before, just from being local and
Yeah.
playing different gigs.
Mhm.
But yeah, and then
And I had I just had these. So my old band broke up in January, and I was just writing stuff, and
Yeah.
I had this big collection of tunes that like I didn't know what to do with yet. And In Silence was one of them actually, wasn't
yeah,
it? Like the early rendition of it.
Mhm.
And it was like me kind of changing the start, because by the end of that band, we were quite synthy at the end and quite
Okay.
80s inspired. And I wanted to come back and do something completely different, So I messaged Jamie and I was like, dude, do you want to come for a jam? I got some songs. And then I think it was like, eventually we decided, like, no, this is a band. It was going to be like my side project solo thing. And I was like, band written all over it, man.
yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I
Fits
mean?
as band music, doesn't it? Yeah. So
Well, it
Found Alistair from
through a mutual sort of friend.
yeah.
mutual people, like other bands. Well, we knew your band from playing, like, well, the people from your band in other bands.
Yeah.
I didn't know you
Mhm.
It's a small like community, like everyone in like a good way, sort of.
There's a
Yeah.
big
And
scene in Oxford,
you
but it's
mentioned
in
how
the
it
right
was
people.
might have been like a solo album at first. That's kind of how Wunderhorse came together too. Cub was all Jacob Slater, and then now Midas was a group effort. Whatever they're working on next is a group
Yeah,
effort. So
yeah.
it's cool how the origins are kind of similar too. You guys have mentioned coming from old bands a lot. Tell viewers and myself just a bit about your musical history. How long have you been in bands? How long have you been playing music?
You want to start?
yeah, I'll start. Yeah, I played in bands for a long time, really, ever since I was probably sort of well from like young childhood.
Mhm.
I started off playing a lot of blues and jazz. Played in a couple of jazz bands, and then sort of gradually found my style and what I was into. But yeah, predominantly I played in a sort of a grunge, I guess grunge rock band for many years. So yeah, the style kind of works fitted well anyway
Mhm.
when we started playing this stuff. But yeah, it's been in all sorts really, which has been quite nice, and it's nice to add little elements. Yeah.
Yeah.
What have you done,
I,
Alfie?
I haven't done a lot to be fair. Like I haven't played guitar for like that long. It's only been like 3 or 4 years. So, but I'm in it. I'm in another band at the moment as well.
Mhm.
It's been like 2 years. So yeah, it's just like I'm doing this now because I want to sort of, like do extra stuff, and I love it so much. So like, yeah, that's
Yeah.
basically it.
Stay busy, get more reps, get a little bit more
Yeah, yeah,
talented and skilled
yeah.
than you already are. Yeah.
Literally that. Yeah.
Mine's sort of the same as Jamie's, really. I've been playing since I was like 11, and then like
Mhm.
joining bands at school, and like
Yeah.
I was in a metal band growing up, and then we sort of changed to like I started a sort of pop rocky kind of band. We called it power pop,
Power
or
pop. Okay.
unapologetic pop. but then, like my heart has always been with like punk and grunge and stuff. So,
Yeah.
so then when these tunes started coming out, and I knew you was a grunge drum, I was like, I know it's cool. Like,
And I'm
so
glad you guys are also big grunge heads. I've spent most of this year doing deep dives on the big four of grunge's discographies. So that's
yeah,
kept
same.
it's kept me busy for most of the year. And then so for fans who love In Silence, when they hear it on Halloween, what can they expect next?
Well, we have other singles in the pipeline.
Hmm.
We have like stuff recorded that's not been mastered yet because we're sort of playing it by ear, really.
Yeah.
It's kind of what comes to us. We're gonna do. We're gonna keep releasing. You know, what's the word? Like not consecutively. Like what's the word when it's like not too far apart in each time? Do
Oh gosh,
So nice.
you know what I mean?
I know what you're saying. Yeah,
It's like every few
it's
months.
gonna
It's
yeah
gonna be consistent.
yeah
And we
Yeah.
have songs ready to go.
There's some heavier songs.
yeah.
Yeah,
There's some heavier songs as
Okay.
well.
there's heavier. There's
But then there's
more
only
melodic.
yeah. There's more.
I think
Yeah.
our main thing is to kind of have, we're basing it off a sound more than a genre. Like
Hmm.
our genre is the same, but we have it's more about the way it's recorded, that live raw feel. And
Yeah.
if we go a bit, left to right and that, we're not too worried. Like, it's like, and like fussed about, where the direction goes. I mean, we're not going to release a dance track, but
Yeah, no
it's going to be
dance
varied
music,
around
no
that area,
disco from you guys?
Not yet, not yet.
But yeah, never say never. Yeah, you might wait to see how this goes. Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
hey,
it depends how well the song does.
yeah. So for fans who love In Silence, there's more coming for you in just a couple months. Are there any plans for you guys to play live?
Yeah, we've been booking
Yeah.
and sort of keeping it kind of local. Now we're going to hop on a few like gigs in the hometown with our with bands we've known,
Yeah.
and just kind of build it up from the ground. We're going to treat it like it is a new band and we haven't done it for years. We're just going to enjoy it, and see where it takes
Yeah.
us.
I think that mentality is good because it sounds like even though you guys have loads of experience, you're humbling yourselves and seeing it as a truly fresh start in every aspect of music. And I think that'll do great for you guys in the long run to have that mentality.
It has to be though, because if you
Yeah.
start with, if we come out with like this mega produced single and it had like string sections and this and like, where do you go from there? We need space to grow as a band. You need to kind
Yeah.
of set the foundation of where you're going to be in a year or two, because your style changes all the time, and
Oh yeah, 100%.
and every week you might have a new idea. But if you start with something too big,
Grandiose.
yeah,
Yeah.
it kind of like it kills that momentum dead anyway, because it's like, well, what are they going to do next?
Yeah.
You
How do
can't
you
before.
top it?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
When you're new, they expect you to continually improve and grow and top yourself and better yourself every time. And you can't do that if you're spending $50,000 on an over-the-top music video and, all that stuff on the first song. It's setting yourself up for failure.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, we don't have $50,000 anyway.
Yeah,
so.
no.
So
None of us
why.
none of us here talking have $50,000 to spend on a music video. It's fine. It's fine.
So is it humble or is it just we haven't got any money?
Could be both. Could be both at the same time. Humble because you don't have any money.
No,
But
I'm
hey,
messing.
it was great talking to you guys. For everybody who wants to follow you guys more, where can they find you on social media?
Our main one is Instagram, isn't it? Which is
Instagram, which is
FAWLERS.UK.
that's it. Yeah,
Okay.
that's the one.
And then Facebook FAWLERS, and then we're gonna, we're not that bothered on TikTok, but we're gonna we'll post live bits on there and stuff.
Yeah.
I know you're meant to now, but
you kind of have to these days. It's how huge it is, whether you want to or
I
not.
know.
It's not my favorite platform either. I had to force myself to like it when I started.
I'm sure we'll get there eventually. But
Yeah.
Instagram's the main one for now as we launch, and then we'll keep everyone updated throughout there if they watch, if they give us a follow.
Sweet. And then the question I end every interview with, I'll give all of you a chance to answer. What are your 3 favorite songs at the moment? If I asked, if a stranger asked, what's been on repeat for you guys?
It's a big question, man. Who's going first?
It's a really hard question actually. I always think about this, and I think I've actually gone back to listening to quite a lot of stuff that I don't know, a lot of Incubus stuff really. I'll probably say Drive by Incubus is one of them.
That's a good change.
Um,
Mine would be, well, one of my favorites of the minute is definitely like about any Bad Nerves song, really. If you know Bad Nerves,
I know the name. I'm not sure I could tell you many of their songs.
got to check them out. They're like one of the best bands around.
That's part of why I love asking this question, is because it gives me new stuff to listen to.
They're like upcoming sort of punk band from London, no, from Southend, I think.
Yeah.
Or Chelmsford or something around there. But they're sort of like, they have a melodic singer and it's like, it's badass, man.
Yeah.
It's good.
Okay.
Any song by them, check it out.
I'm listening to loads of Elliott Smith at the moment.
Oh yeah.
He died yesterday, actually, like 20 years ago, which is a bit sad. But
Oh wow.
yeah. But Elliott Smith, there's this Welsh band that I like called Slate as well.
Yeah, Slate.
A bit post-punky. And then There's a band called Yo, a bit like Wunderhorse,
Sorry, what was
grungy
that?
sort of
What was that
indie
third
rock,
one?
but a bit
Or
like folky at the same time.
we're breaking up a little bit. What was that third
Keo.
one?
Oh, it's Keo. Keo.
KEO. Okay. Sorry, I heard
Yeah.
it the second time, but I was also talking over you guys. Which was kind of difficult here. Anyway, thank you guys so much for joining. Thank you everybody for watching. Go listen to In Silence when it comes out on the 31st. Follow FAWLERS. Their Instagram is going to be in the description, and we'll see you later. Have a good one. Bye.